Welcome to Currency Watch. This is Chris Keene from A Keen Point of View. It was a rather uneventful day in North America as most of the majors consolidated in European, Asian, and North America trading. Until the open of trading in New York, we had a bit of a squeeze higher, and that was particularly illustrated in the Great Britain USD cross that moved basically from the lows of the week, well, lows of the day. It popped up almost 80 pips in North American trading, but it has given up a bit of those gains into the close in New York. Heading into tonight's trading, there's two pieces of data that we're going to be watching out for. The first is the Aussie, and we have the release of its interest rate decision. What will be more interesting than the interest rate decision itself will be the commentary that follows, and any hint of any slowdown in China, or the case that China is humming along, and there's still a large demand for the natural resources that China delivers to keep their economy moving. And the next piece of information will be the Great Britain pounds GDP estimate that's due at 4:30 Eastern time. The Aussie USD report is due at 12:30 Eastern time or 4:30 GMT time. Let's take a look at the pairs more particularly, like the Aussie USD. As we can see, it's been riding this channel higher over almost for a month now, and for the last week or so, it's been trading right near the tops of the range, trying to break higher. If we get some positive comments out of Australia and about the strength in the Chinese economy and their own economy, we could see finally a push above this trend line, which will initially test 106.30. And if we break that, the real meat would be a move up towards the 108.50 area to test the highs of the year. But if the commentary comes in line and we have rather non-eventful information out of the government where they think the economy could hum along or decline in the near future, requiring interest rate cuts, we could see the pair move down initially towards the 104.35 resistance zone in the near term over the next day or so. The next pair we're going to look at is the Great Britain USD, because as we said, it squeezed higher today in North American trading, but it's currently has moved down from that levels and is currently sitting right at the 156 level. Ahead of the, if there's a risk-on move, we could see a pop higher after the Australian data, or with the GDP report, we could see a push lower or higher based on the estimates, which I believe it's believed to come in negative 0.2%, but it is only an estimate. So what we're going to be looking for is currently you could go short and play the top of the range, and look for a pushback down towards the bottom of the daily lows at 155.50, or you could wait for the report to come out and see if we get a push lower based on the estimates, and we could head back to the bottom of the range, or we could get a push higher. If we break out of the triangle in either direction, if we break out to the top side, we would initially test the 156.60 level, which is 38.2 fib from the May lows, or we could move back up ultimately over the long term to the 50 fib, which has basically kept price action in line over the last month or so at 157.82. But if we do to move down to the bottom of the range, we could see a push towards 155.50, and the bottom of the trend would probably come in around the 155.30 level. The last pair we're going to look at is the USD JPY. Not that we're looking for any great data or anything out of this pair, but you can see it's been very range bound between the 78.60 and the 78 level. You can see it's bounced off the 78 level once, twice, three, four, and it looks like it could be heading down for a fifth test of that level. We could find sellers in this price area looking for another push back up towards the top of the range. So everybody, all the traders, we're going to keep a lookout tonight for the information out of the Aussie government for the estimate of the interest rate decision, and on the Great Britain USD cross, we're going to keep an eye out for the GDP estimate. Everybody, this is Chris Keene, and this is Currency Watch. Remember to keep your trades keen and to play it safe.